Kia EV4 is in its element in the concrete jungler low-speed first drive in the EV4. Electric car's home city of Seoul highlights its comfortable ride, convenient tech, and accommodating interior. Seoul, South Korea, is a vast, sprawling, traffic-filled metropolis. Its roadways echo those of major U.S. cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York, but with more politeness from fellow drivers. It was here where we got to sample Kia's latest electric car. The EV4 Sedan. Congested cities are good and bad places to evaluate a new vehicle. On one hand, Seoul serves as a vignette for urban driving scenarios with plenty of stop-and-go traffic, a variety of road surfaces, and noisy areas to help determine how much sound-deadening Kia's engineers have packed into their new EV. On the other hand, it's hard to get a good feel for how a car handles when the roads are a grid and speed camera. Warning signs come up every 100 feet. The EV4 is in its element here, though. It's a car that's ideal for urban commuting, and it's a fairly relaxing space to spend time. The top GT line model we drove is decked out with convenience features and has comfortable seats with a lot of adjustability, so finding your most ergonomic position is easy. The rear seat is surprisingly spacious given the EV4 size. And two adults can ride in back with room to spare for elbows and shoulders. At 186.2 inches long, 73.2 inches wide, and 58.3 inches tall, the EV4 Sedan is slightly larger than Kia's K for compact, with a 111.0-inch wheelbase that stretches 3.9 inches longer. Hard plastic is everywhere inside the EV4, but not where you touch, which shows attention to detail. Tech features abound, including twin 12.3-inch displays for gauges and infotainment. Driver assistance offerings are also robust, including adaptive cruise control with lane centering assist. In the Korea market examples we drove, there was also a handy feature that illuminated warning lights in the ambient interior lighting system to alert you upon encountering a speed camera. Kia says that feature won't make it to the US-bound EV4, though, while Kia also says dual motor. All-wheel drive models will join the lineup later. The 201 HP single motor front-wheel drive versions we drove in Seoul are perky enough to keep up with traffic and merge onto busy freeways. We estimate the EV4 will accelerate to 60 miles per hour in a smidge over 7 seconds. Yet, we noticed a distinct tug of torque steer from the wheel under heavy acceleration. Ride compliance proved exceptional, with the suspension soaking up cracks and potholes expertly. GT line models roll on 19-inch wheels and tires, but lesser versions come with 17 inches. The Korea market chassis tuning may differ slightly from what we wind up with in the States, but we doubt Kia will make any monumental changes. Steering feel is largely absent, but the EV4's helm is nicely weighted in the default normal drive setting. Switching to sport mode brings some additional heft, but we prefer the lighter touch of the standard mode. Regardless of drive mode, you can adjust the level of the powertrain's regenerative braking via paddles on the steering wheel. There are several levels of regen, ranging from basically none to one-pedal driving. The latter is well-tuned to avoid the herky-jerky feeling of some rival EVs. But we appreciate that Kia makes it easy to turn off for when we prefer to stop the old-fashioned way. The EV4 is offered with one of two battery packs, the entry-level. Light trim comes with a smaller 58 kWh battery, while the mid-range, wind, and top-spec GT line feature a larger 81 kWh unit. EPA ratings and full US specs are not yet available, But Kia reckons a driving range of 235 miles for the short-range battery pack, while the long-range models should deliver around 330 miles. Although the EV4 shares its platform with the Hyundai Ioniq 6 sedan, the Kia's electrical architecture is a 400-volt system rather than an 800-volt setup. As a result, charging times are slower for the Kia, but still class competitive at a claimed 29 to 31 minutes for a 10 to 80% charge at a DC station, depending on the battery size. The EV4 will come standard with an ACS port in the US market, meaning it will be able to charge on the Tesla supercharger network without an adapter. Much of the EV4's desirability could be tempered by its price, which we aren't yet privy to. Kia is keeping the wraps on the MSRPs until closer to the car's launch date in late 2025. If starting numbers wind up in the mid-$30,000 neighborhood, we're looking at a compact EV with big-time appeal. But the tariff situation could jeopardize the Korea-made F4's value pricing in the US THE F4's looks could also be a big selling point. Its styling is bold, to say the least, and the rear three-quarter view highlights some awkward proportions. But we think the EV4 still manages to look sharp up close. A hatchback variant will also be built, but sadly, that version won't come to North America. What we will get, though, is a sportier GT model, though it's not clear whether it will have the go-fast jumps to rival the upcoming Hyundai Ioniq 6N. And existing performance-oriented EVs, such as the Tesla Model 3 Performance. Until then, the standard EV4 should satisfy urban dwelling drivers who just want a comfortable small EV with good range and an affordable price.